It's true. First we need to determine if Miu was actually there or not. Did she go? Was she never on the roof at all? I definitely feel like she went. She definitely gone to the rooftop. She was definitely there. What are we dealing with? To make his account, loud noises, Miu's corpse, Kokichi's salon.
Miu was waiting for me to arrive. I'm sure she was waiting on the rooftop of the mansion.
No, Miu should have been at the chapel. If you look at where her avatar fell, it's right next to the chapel.
How would she have gotten to the mansion? There was no bridge over the river.
A bridge would be the only way to get across.
So, her meeting with Kokichi...
She stood me up!
At first glance, it seems as if it's possible for me to go to the mansion. But there has to be some evidence that shows it was possible.
Miu was waiting for me to arrive.
Tsumegi's account, that's what it was. Tsumegi's
I'm sure
account.
she was waiting on the rooftop of the mansion.
Her account would help us here.
Miu should have been at the chapel. If you look at where her avatar fell, it's right next to the chapel.
It was.
How would she have gotten to the mansion? There was no bridge over the river.
A bridge would be the only way to get across.
No.
So, her meeting with Kokichi...
She stood me up!
Tsumeki's account. Let's go back to Tsumeki's account. While Tsumeki was searching on the secret of the outside world, in a virtual world, she saw Miu's avatar through the window.
Miu was waiting for me to arrive.
She was maybe waiting.
I'm sure she was waiting on the rooftop of the mansion.
We'll try some trial and error.
Miu should have been at the chapel.
Yeah, there you go.
That's wrong!
Gotta make sure it pace ourselves and isolate the specific things said in statements.
Miu must have gone to the mansion. We have a witness.
Yeah, when I was searching the dining room, I saw Miu pass by the window.
Remember that invisible wall that I talked about? Or that impassable wall? And her setting herself, her avatar as an object rather than a human classification? Yeah. That's hopefully gonna come into play pretty soon here.
Then why didn't you say so sooner?
Oh.
Sorry, I thought I was just mistaken at first, since there was no way she could have come to the mansion. But I guess I wasn't mistaken after all. That was definitely Miu.
Then, how did she get to the mansion from the chapel?
There must have been some special method only Miu knew, like with that cell phone.
There's no doubt about that. That's why she dropped the bridge. If a murder occurred when it was impossible to cross the river, she wouldn't be implicated. She used a secret method to move from the chapel to the mansion for the murder.
She dropped the bridge to make a huge scene, just to let everyone know it's no longer there.
So, what secret method did she use?
It won't be that easy to figure out. It's called a secret method for a reason.
No worries, guys. As long as we leave it to Shuichi, everything will be A-OK.
What?
What are you saying? We can't just rely on Shuichi all the time. This class trial's for all of us. We're here to solve this together.
You would just slow down Shuichi.
Shut up!
I don't have time to deal with Kokichi. Right now I need to focus on the case. I'm positive that Miu used some kind of a special method to get to the mansion. Okay, just have to figure out what that is. Debate. Okay, sounds good. Here's what we got going on here. See what bullets we got. File, login, Kokichi Salon, we'll add up a Miu.
The way across it only Miu knew about.
Wall add up a Miu, has
Like a
to be.
hidden bridge besides that signboard, maybe.
Or, instead of bridge, Miu used some kind of vehicle to go over.
No.
Or maybe she teleported with magic.
She didn't teleport.
Or she used a warp zone.
She didn't.
Maybe there's a place you could cross without a bridge.
A hidden route that only Miu could use to get...
That'll be it.
I agree.
That'll be it. Good job, Kibo. Also, I love how the text just kind of gets animated and jumps around and stuff. It makes it harder to aim, though.
That's it, Kibo. There was a hidden route only Miu could use.
I will say the text is very bouncy in this game, but it makes it really difficult to aim. Like, some of the text was really difficult to aim as well in the second game, but man, it's difficult as hell to aim in this game. Not even kidding you.
Was there really?
Miu modified the program to add a special wall to the world. The wall stretches along the y-axis, but we found 2 such walls in the virtual world. It's unclear whether Mew added the wall by the mansion or the wall near the chapel. We do know that that wall was set so that only objects could pass
Don't
through.
be naive, Shuichi.
Oh god, that scared me. That actually scared the hell out of me. Kaito,
What is it, Kaito?
don't be scaring me like that, dude.
Jeez, you set up a weird wall like that? That is suspicious, but it's got nothing to do with what we were talking about.
Nothing to do with it.
Huh. You don't even realize your mistake? Are you losing your edge? Oh well, my sidekick's mistakes are my mistakes. I'll make it right.
What? Excuse me? Hold on. Kibo, excuse me? What do we got here? What are we working with? Map of the mansion, map of the world, Mew's avatar, Adam and Mew, setting Kokichi's
What
avatar.
we gotta figure out is how Mew got from the chapel to the mansion. So why waste time talking about the imposter? It's pointless. We gotta take a whole new approach here.
The map, maybe?
Now, wait just a second. It's not actually impossible at all.
But you just said so, didn't you? That wall Mew set up only lets non-human objects go through it. Humans aren't able to pass through. So Mew obviously wouldn't be able to go through that wall. She's not just an object after all. You get it? So let's go through this one more time.
No doubt that Mew was able to pass through the wall. Need to keep some kind of proof of that.
But you just said so, didn't you? That wall Mew set up only lets non-human objects go through.
Oh shit.
Humans aren't able to pass through. So Mew obviously wouldn't be able to go through that wall. She's not just an object after all.
Okay, there we go.
You get it? So let's go through this one
Not
more
just
time.
an object after all. Okay, I got you. I got it now. I got it. We got it.
But you just said so, didn't you? That wall Mew set up only lets non-human objects go through it. Humans aren't able to pass through. So Mew obviously wouldn't be able to go through that wall. She's not just an
Shit.
object after all.
It always
You
does
get
that. It always
So
does
let's go
that.
through this
It always
one more
does that.
time.
And to be careful in that particular split. Just wait. Just be
But
patient.
you just said so, didn't you? That wall Mew set up only lets non-human objects go. Humans aren't able to pass through. So Mew obviously wouldn't be able to go through that wall.
Patience.
She's not just an object after all.
She is.
I'll cut through your words.
She is this time around. She's set as an object variable. She has an object variable set to on.
The wall wasn't the only thing that Mew changed. She also changed her avatar settings from human to object.
From human to object?
Which means the virtual world treated her avatar as an object. She could have passed through a wall that only non-humans could go through.
Is that right?
Yep.
Don't get ahead of yourself, Kaito. We need to listen to everything Shuichi says. I already told you, the more you try, the more you cause us trouble. It's so totally lame that your own sidekick is dissing you!
Kokichi, enough! I wasn't arguing with him. I was just explaining.
I don't care. That doesn't bother me at all.
Sounds like it might have bothered a little bit.
It just means even I make mistakes. Don't worry about it, Shuichi.
That's a very mature way to approach it, huh?
Okay.
It's pretty funny seeing Kaito try to act all tough like this.
Kokichi, please refrain from making such irrelevant and irrational remarks.
So, if Mew messed with the program and made a wall only she could go through,
Then her secret route was through that wall?
that's it, right? Like using a glitch in a game to walk outside the map. I bet Mew had a hidden passage like that in the back of the chapel.
But even if she could walk through walls, was there really a hidden passage? 'Cause Mew said...
No, you're not trapped here. Beyond the wall is the end of the world, literally. Past the wall, nothing exists. Everything else there.
She probably lied. There would be no point in going if there was nothing on the other side.
Mew lied.
I wonder what the truth is. There's no way to find out now.
Why is Oh, is it just me or is Kakichi fascinated about the whole lying aspect?
That cum-soaked urinal cake was totally lying about there being nothing past the wall.
What the fuck? You could have just called... You could have just said that Miyu instead of the cum-soaked urinal cake. Oh god.
She lived a life of pride, vulgarity, and secrets. Lying would be a piece of cake for her.
Kokichi, you no have to go that far.
Stop it! Don't badmouth Mommy!
He remembers.
Monotaro?
Listen to you, talking about Mommy like she was a terrible lying whore. But Mommy wasn't lying. There was no hidden route in that virtual world.
Oh, there wasn't, huh?
Hey! You can't tell them such an important hint!
Oh, what he's saying is that there was no hidden route to get from one side of the map to the other. I get what he's getting at.
Oh, if you say that hint is important, then I guess it must be true.
Oh, shoot!
Ah, jeez. You're lucky you're cute.
Was Kakichi saying all that stuff about Mew to get the cops to reveal something? Guess I should thank him, but I have no idea why he does things sometimes.
So now that we know there's no hidden route, why did she manipulate the program?
I feel like Kakichi's specialty is to manipulate people, not manipulate... Yeah, you know what? It really feels like he's not Kakichi's not much of a things person. He's more about the manipulation aspect to get something out of people. To get people to either realize something specific or to steer conversation of the trial in a specific direction or specific way. Rather than analyzing the facts like Shuichi is. I don't know. Anyway.
If there's actually nothing past the wall, then that setting was meaningless.
Mew wouldn't have done something meaningless. She would have had a plan.
Yes, Mew definitely wanted to be able to go through that wall for a reason. We aren't sure why yet, but once we solve the mystery of the virtual world...
Mystery of virtual world?
There have been a lot of strange occurrences in the virtual world. If we can determine why, we will also determine what Mew was up to. We'll know why she wanted to pass through the wall.
All right, let's clear up those strange occurrences.
Yeah, Gonta will help, even though Gonta not know what you're talking about.
At least he's trying.
Speaking of strange occurrences, I'm just plain worried about that one thing. Remember? That thing that made us notice all the strange occurrences?
Events that led us there. Corpse, device instruction, kill game simulator. Events at chapel. Loud noise?
This is it!
Yep, loud noise.
You mean the loud sound that you and I heard in the kitchen?
That did kind of make it all happen. That began everything. Huh? What was that sound? It sounded as if someone was struck very hard. Came from outside, but...
You all heard that sound too?
And we heard Kibo right after.
Yes, in the mansion's kitchen.
But that sound occurred near the chapel. How did you hear it all the way at the mansion?
Remember that theory about the maps not being in the right order? Or not being in order that Mew portrayed? My theory is coming on here. Oh, my controller also died. Whoops. Should probably try to find a cable I can plug it into, shouldn't I? Might be a good idea. Unless I can play this with just left click and... I could try just playing with a keyboard and mouse. If I control that. Give me a sec, let me change the battery. I'll be right back. Okay, everything is good now. Sorry about that.
First off, sound can't go past the map loading point. Did that sound really come from the chapel?
Sound cannot go past the loading point. Might be a key difference here since it wasn't a loading point in particular. We were on the same plane at that point, weren't we?
That sound was something hitting the chapel wall. It was real loud.
And we definitely heard it. We heard Kibo's voice as well.
For now, let's check outside. Let's go outside and check. Oh no! What? That was Kibo's voice, right? I think I heard him outside. He sounded close.
You heard my voice too?
What? That is pretty strange.
Exactly. That has to be some kind of clue to the mystery of the virtual world.
Okay, well, let's check the answers later and try to find all the other clues first. There was another mysterious phenomenon in the virtual world, wasn't there?
Kokichi talked like he noticed something. Pretending not to know?
Even Gonta is suspicious of me? I always thought you would be the one to trust me!
Don't trust Kokichi.
Sorry, going to not mean it like that.
And Gonta is just a gentleman, become a nice guy again.
There's no need to apologize to him. He's probably just lying again.
Nope, I think this time he's actually telling the truth. This time.
What was the other strange occurrence? Did you see it, Shuichi?
Another mysterious phenomenon. Something that shouldn't be possible, like Miyu and imagine of that loud noise. Need to remember everything else that happened in there. Alright. Wait a minute. Does she mean that? Oh, I need to uncover the entire thing. Does she mean that? Oh yeah, that would be the strange phenomenon.
I see it.
The sign went from one side to the other. There you go.
The sign that we were using as a bridge was odd to me.
Odd how?
We mentioned it before, but Miu dropped the sign in the river.
Whoops, my hand slipped.
We found it later, but there was something unnatural about it.
Finding the sign was definitely weird. I'm most confused about how the sign got there. Should remember exactly what happened with that sign. Alright, here we go. Taxi start. Okay, we're doing taxi again. 1. Go. Also, I'm noticing the letters that I'm moving around. Ha, look at that. Look at that. Let's go keep going through here. Letters are moving now, so I gotta move too. Micro adjustments. Some micro adjustments to make sure we can get all the letters taken care of as we drive through here, while also avoiding the traffic. I wonder if this particular minigame gets like really crazy later down the line. That'd be cool. That'd be pretty cool. Okay, good. No wrecks so far, but that's good. Go ahead. Good. Nice. At which point was the signboard swept away? At which point was the signboard swept away? At the river crossroads? River. Yeah. Yeah, okay, good. I panicked there for a second there, for a split second at the end there. Ooh. Next question. Oh, this is gonna be crazy. This will be crazy. I would want to say creative but crazy at the same time. It's gonna be, oh boy. Okay, gotta think ahead of time. They're gonna be at. Gotta pre-plan on how we drive into them. There you go. Nice, good. Just a couple more. Stay on left side, stay on left bank. Good. Nice. Where's the end of the river? The end of the river was at the chapel, right? right? Transition point? Chapel side. Yeah, there we go. I guess we're gonna figure out where the sign end up. We end up on the mansion side. There's definitely some tomfoolery happening with the sign. I mean, I kind of already guessed about this time around, but we gotta go through the motions here. Gotta go through the motions. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Oh, it's gonna be, oh boy. Well, I messed up royally. Okay, that's alright. We can grab only as much as we can at a time. Probably should slow down through here, shouldn't I? That'd be a good idea. There you go. Where was the signboard found after it was swept away? On the mansion side. That's what it's found, over on the mansion side. Pass through the center, pass. I'm just listening to the lyrics. Center, pass through the center. There you go. There's more? Oh boy, there's more. Never mind. I thought we were done. Never mind. Phase 3 out of 4. Okay. Let's do this. One straight line. That's a little bit weird. There's just one straight line like that. Oh! Haha! I see now. Guess if you have the speed, we can do this perfectly fine. Nice. Ooh. Compared to the river's current, which way did the soundboard float? It floated the other way. Interestingly enough. Compared to the river's current, which way did the soundboard float? Against the current, right? Yes. Okay, good. We did it. At which point was the soundboard swept away? Towards down by the river. Where's the end of the river? At Chapel side. What was the soundboard found after it was swept away by the mansion side? Compared to the river's current, which way did the soundboards float? Against the current. I wonder if Mew said so the current actually goes the other way.
It appeared as though the sign was carried against the river's current.
No, I'm pretty sure it went the other way and then teleported back to the other side. Unless Miyu originally planned for the sign for the river to look like it's flowing that way towards the chapel, but in fact, that was just a sprite animation. That's what it made to visually look like. But in fact, it flows the other way. Maybe?
We all saw Mew drop the sign and watched the river carry it downstream. And the river was wide there. The sign should have traveled downriver toward the chapel, correct? It should have hit the wall on the far side of the chapel and stopped there.
But because it was an object, you could have gone to the other side through the wall.
But that's not where we found it. We found it near the mansion, nestled in some rocks.
Okay, never mind. The theory that I had was probably incorrect about the whole like river sprite animations to one side, but it actually moves the other way around. No. Since the soundboard is considered an object, it would have flowed down the river through the chapel side, but then would have flown through the invisible wall barrier and up on the mansion side instead.
The signboard should have been near the chapel, but we found it on the other side.
Hold up. Didn't you stay on the chapel side? She probably grabbed the signboard from the chapel wall to cross the river. Then left it on the boulders near the mansion so she could get back.
Why would she leave the signboard where it could get swept away and leave her stranded?
Also, this has nothing to do with walking through the wall, right? We're getting off topic. We're so close to the truth. We just have to connect the how and what. All the mysterious things that happened have to connect with each other somehow.
Connect how?
A wall only objects can pass through. Sounds that shouldn't be heard. A signboard going against the river current. How are they all connected?
Through the map, isn't it?
I don't know, but Shuichi should know, right?
What?
We would be in a lot of trouble if you didn't. The only one who can solve this mystery and save us all is you.
Okay, I'm checking the webcam just in case, make sure it's still recording because of the issue earlier.
they connected? Do you know, Shuichi?
Ah, well, what we know so far is that the unnatural way the sign was carried is possibly related to the wall.
The wall. Show question. What clues relate to the unnatural way the soundboard was carried over the river? Clues relate to the unnatural way the soundboard was carried on the river. Wall added by Miyu?
This is it!
There you go.
It might have to do with a wall that only objects can pass through. The sign should have stopped at the wall on the other side of the chapel. But if that wall happened to be the one that Mew set to allow objects through...
I see. It's a wall only non-humans can pass through. That means the signboard can pass through the wall, right?
Even if it could pass through the chapel wall, how did it end up by the mansion?
The only way it could do that is if the wall was a warp zone. But it's not, right?
That's right. There's a real issue here. How could the soundboard pass through the wall but end up on the mansion side? What would explain that?
Leave it to me, Shuichi. I, your partner, will give you hints in times of trouble.
Really now? What?
This is the virtual world. We should throw away all of our common sense, okay?
Huh? The hell does that even mean?
Kichi might be onto something here. We need to forget about what we know and just think about it. How did the soundboard pass through the wall downstream and end up upstream? Putting common sense aside and focusing on the flow of the river. It's not the signboard. Downstream and stream connect.
That's it!
There we go.
What if both ends of the river were connected?
Huh? Both ends of river connected?
Exactly. To put it another way, the river isn't cut off at the wall near the chapel. It's all part of one big loop. The upstream part of the river is connected to it.
What? What are you talking about? Both ends of the river can't...
Again, throw out all common sense from your head. We're talking about the virtual world.
True.
Then what about the wall? There was only one wall that could be passed through.
Right. Even if the river's connected and it goes through the chapel wall, it wouldn't have been able to go through the mansion wall too.
Wait, in that case...
I got it! I know why Mew only set up one wall.
What are you talking about now?
The reason she only set up one wall is because the chapel and the mansion walls. They're the same wall.
That's it!
They'll be the same wall.
The walls by the chapel and the mansion aren't separate. They're the same wall.
The same wall?
It's not just the river. The walls themselves are connected. Don't think of it as two separate walls, but a single wall parallel to the y-axis. That single wall divides the entire virtual world. The idea is, you pass through the wall by the chapel and come out by the mansion.
Everything is starting to connect. See, didn't I tell you? Everything is connected.
Damn it, Kokichi! Just tell us...
Shh, it's okay. More importantly, this is the final stretch!
To him, this is a game, isn't it? I mean...
If both the river and wall are connected, then you can find the secret. Shuichi, you already know the secret behind the virtual world, right?
The secret, huh? Suppose we should clear that up. You just solved the mystery of the virtual world. Heyman's Gambit, okay. World. What do we got here? World, maybe? No. Pa 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 pa. Pa 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 pa. Load point? Seems like, yeah, they talk about a loading point, something, I think. I'm gonna try the L here. See what we got going on here. L? No, not low point. World point, maybe? Order? Map order? World order? World order, yeah. The world is ordered a little bit differently. L, 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 L. Okay. Just gotta get the D. Get that D. Order, 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 order. The world order is different. The maps. Order. There we go. Oh. It's not O? Hmm. Point, maybe? World point? No. S and L. I'm seeing S's and L's now. World something. World something. I thought it was like world order, like they order the map. Slope? I'm gonna keep prodding in until I get something going. I'm sorry. L. Okay. Layer? World. L, 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 L. Taking pot shots. Oh. World. Load? No. Loops, loops, loops. That's what it is. There we go. Loops. Loops. World loops. That's what it is. Give me a P. Okay, give me an S. I've been using focus a little bit too much. Give me an S here. There you go. Thank you. World loops. There you go. There you go. Got it. Complete. Nice.
Yes, that's it. The virtual world is a loop.
Loop?
Just like in old games, right? Like, for example, when a character goes off the left side of the screen and reappears on the right.
Yep.
Yes, exactly. The edges of the virtual world are linked together in a continuous loop.
The virtual world loops?
So it turns out the virtual world loops. I was assuming, me personally, I was under the assumption that the map order was incorrect. I was made to believe, from the way everything functioned, is that Mio organized the map to look like this to be the speak from y'all's perspective. This would be the mansion side map. And this is the church map, right? And there's a low point in between them to load. What I thought it was going to be like is it this way, where the map load ends on one or the other side, rather than a singular loop. I was made to think that this is how the map will flip. This is the mansion, this is the church, flipped. And they're connected in between here, and each have a loading side from the other ends. That's what I was made to believe, but apparently I was wrong, so sorry about that. Oh, flip. Okay, microphone still recording. I bumped the mic a little bit, my bad.
What in the world?
If that's true, it would explain the way the signboard was swept away. It vanished into the wall downstream of the river, came out of that same wall upstream.
There you go.
and floated with the current until it got caught on the rocks.
What was the world like before Mew added the wall?
Actually, there wasn't a wall on the y-axis at all, and the x-axis was set to loop.
Interesting.
Are you serious? Even if it is a computer program, isn't that too crazy?
A looping world. That's more extraordinary than even magic.
But at least it's not a boring answer. It also explains all the things that happened.
Huh? It doesn't explain everything, does it? Because we still don't know why we heard that one sound or Kibo's voice.
Yeah, sound doesn't go past the map loading point.
Actually, if we know that the world is a loop, we can explain that as well.
Huh? Really?
Yes, but first we need to be clear where the loop starts.
Where the loop starts. Doesn't it loop at the walls next to the mansion and chapel?
Not necessarily. If we heard a noise at the chapel from inside the mansion, then the loop...
Would have to be the loading point, wouldn't it? Yeah, would be.
There!
There you go. That's where it starts the loop.
The map loading point was where the virtual world looped. We thought the loading point was in the middle of the map. But the loading point was actually at the edges.
Never mind, I was correct about the...
So the wall Mew created wasn't at the edges of the world, but rather... Her wall was at the center of the world.
I see. So the mansion and chapel were near each other,
That-
with a wall between them.
That makes sense then. Okay, good.
And any sounds emitted near the chapel would also reach the mansion. The wall only allows non-humans to pass through, so sound should be able to pass through easily.
That's right. That's how the virtual world works.
Impressive, Shuichi!
What the hell?
For you to get this far! Yes! Yes! You are useful indeed!
For you to get this far, what are you, some villain pulling the strings?
Nope. Mew pulled the strings here, not me. Remember? Mew also set this trap. It all began when Mew showed us the map. Because of the map, we mistakenly thought the loading point was at the center.
Am I not the only one who is creeped out about Kokichi doing a weird maniacal laughter thing?
Which in turn made the mansion and chapel seem farther away from each other.
But the structure of the world wasn't actually like that. There was a wall along the y-axis, and the x-axis came around in a loop.
By putting that wall in the center of that world, she cut off the loop.
So ever since Mew showed us that map, we were caught in her trap. But we solved this mystery thanks to Shuichi. All hail our savior!
Yeah, if Shuichi wasn't here, then we never would have solved this mystery.
That's right. Good work, Shuichi.
Thanks, Shuichi. You saved us.
You're welcome.
What's up with Kaito?
Just because we found out the virtual world's secret doesn't mean we can take it easy yet.
I wonder if Kokichi is trying to make it seem like he's trying to separate Kaito and Shuichi right now. Rather than Kaito hanging on to Shuichi as if he was his sidekick, everybody's saying, hey, we should thank Shuichi and only Shuichi. Thank you, Shuichi. You're the only person here that's actually doing something. Leaving Kaito out. I wonder if Kokichi is definitely trying to do something here. Kokichi is trying to do something here. I don't know 100% what it is just yet, but I have some thoughts.
Actually, this culprit hunt just got to the exciting part. Even if we know all the tricks, it's pretty meaningless if we don't find the culprit. That's how a class trial works, after all!
Kokichi talking like Monokuma again.
No matter what you say, I'm not gonna believe your lies. I'm gonna believe in everyone. That's how I'm gonna reach the truth.
I can't wait to see what happens next!
What is Kokichi's plan here? He's definitely prodding at Kaito on purpose. There's no time for distractions like him. What we have to do is find the culprit who killed Miyu. It doesn't matter how many little mysteries we solve, if we can't find the culprit, we'll be all for nothing. I still don't know for sure what it could be. Who could be? Who used Miyu's own plan against her to kill her? Who killed Miyu? I have my suspicions. But we gotta take a class trial break. Oh boy. These trials are long and arduous, y'all. Long and arduous.
1, 2, 1, 2. He is all that remains of a once powerful yokai.